All right, here we go. Another second live stream here on YouTube via Google Hangouts. This is In the Paint Live. Welcome. I'm your host, Rodney Jones, and I'm waiting for a few callers to come in. So, of course, obviously, I'm the first one talking to you people live here. We air every Monday and Fridays at the time of 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Um, Mondays and Fridays were about an hour. Fridays a little bit long. Excuse me, Monday, Friday about an hour. Tuesdays is roughly about 2 hours. Tonight we're going to be about an hour. We got some pretty good topics at hand tonight. Obviously, a few hot stories. Obviously, one in the blah, I can't speak. What the hell's wrong with me? In the NBA circles, that will be with Spurs small forward Kawhi Leonard, seemingly demanding a trade from the San Antonio Spurs, and he has put down as a potential destination the Los Angeles Lakers. Also in the mix, I hear, are the Boston Celtics, the New York Knicks, and surprisingly, the Sacramento Kings of all people. That one is a kind of a bit of a stunner to me because I have to really take a look at the roster of the Sacramento Kings and see if they have any type of pieces, maybe the draft picks, of course, that's probably what it is. But as far as any quality players to make that match with Kawhi Leonard to possibly get that deal going, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see it. Then again, like I said, I'm no expert. I'm just giving my humble opinion. Feel free to correct me at any time. I welcome that, of course. Um, Also, we're going to be discussing in the land of the NBA. The impending free agency of Kyrie Irving. Now, as you know, Kyrie last season played for the Boston Celtics, was a very good player for the team until he got injured. And he's looking at free agency, quite possibly for 2019. There's a lot of talk that he might want to rejoin. He might want to come to New York as they'll be in play as a possible player for his services. And another thing we'll be talking about as soon as my co-host Max 611, aka East New York, gets here. In boxing, big news. Finally, Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, going against Canelo Alvarez. Okay, that's coming up September 15th. And I believe that'll be in Vegas. And that's a fight that I definitely want to see. I personally think that Canelo Alvarez will win that fight. That's just my personal thought. Um, so just hang in there. Well, I'm waiting for some people to call in. So far, there's nothing happening here. I'm just waiting here. That's one thing I can't stand, is being the first on the show. Well, anyway, I'm going to give you some thoughts on Triple G and Canelo because believe we're going to start with that first, and then we'll go on to the lane of the NBA. To me, I think Triple G is a great white hope. I really truly believe that. I think he's overhyped because if you look at the body of his work, yes, he's unbeaten. He has a draw, of course, with Canelo in that first fight. Um, to me, not Canelo. To me, Triple G, he's fought nobody except for Canelo and maybe Danny Jacobs, and that's the two quality fighters I see from his body of work. Other than that, it's been the equivalent of barbers, street vendors, and cab drivers. Again, that's my opinion, and I'm pretty correct on that. Okay, give me a second. I'm here. Did he click the link? Hold on, folks. While I just be patient. Sorry about the delay. I sent these invites out the right way, and I don't understand, you know, what the deal is. So just bear with me, and we'll try to get this figured out. Sorry about the delay, folks. I don't know what the hell is going on with this thing. This is kind of ridiculous. Hold on. Yeah, this is quite weird. I may have to. I don't know if I can't get this straightened out, folks. My apologies. Um, I may have to cancel the broadcast tonight because I did everything the correct way. I don't get it. Let me see what the hell's going on here. This is ridiculous. Why am I the only one on here? Let me see. Again, hang in there, folks. All right, just bear with me. I apologize. Um, Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on? Okay. Um, wow. Again, just bear with me, folks. I'm gonna try to do this again and see what's happening. All right. So my apologies to you guys. I don't know what the issue is. If I send out the link and you click it, that should be really about it. I don't understand that at all. That makes absolutely no sense. Jesus. This is ridiculous. Hang tight, folks. What the fuck is going on with shit? Okay. I'm still having a little technical difficulties here. Let's do Hangouts. Okay. Let's see what happens this time. Hello? 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 Try to invite these guys. This is ridiculous. All right, yeah. Let's see. Trying to do this again, folks. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I tell you. This is I'm not really liking this. Oh boy, I tell you, this is ridiculous. It's another invitation posted. Jesus Christ. What the freak is going on here? What the hell? What the hell is this? Hey, Chandler. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello,
You hear me?
Bueller.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, there we go. I mean, I didn't understand that whole thing. That was ridiculous. I don't know what the hell's going on with
Yeah,
this.
it's a
This is
mess.
ridiculous. Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous.
Well, because
Hmm?
Hangouts is weird.
Hmm?
Because and someone else calls before you,
Hmm?
then they actually have to add you to the call.
Oh.
Instead of you being able to use the link.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I just sent Max like three different links already. I don't know what the hell the issue is. You know, maybe he called in early. I don't know. You still there, Chandler?
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
he's trying to join the call, but it's not letting him.
It's not letting him. Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to send them out. I just sent out another invite as well. So let me keep trying this. I'll be right there with you in a second, brother. This is yeah, I don't like this. I am not a fan of this at all. So Again, my bad. Tried. I'll send him another one, see what happens. Another one's posted. Anyway, you know what? We're still gonna make a go of it. Chandler, we're gonna discuss
Yeah.
the news of the day. Kawhi Leonard demanding a trade from the San Antonio Spurs. I gotta tell you, I'm not shocked at this, and actually, you have brought up a good point when we was talking on Blog Talk, saying about the were you alluding to the training staff or was it the management? I forget which one it was, but you had said something about this.
Well, let me first say that this trade demand, I think, is a bunch of made up BS by ESPN. This league sources nonsense usually turns out to be crap.
Okay.
I do think that Kawhi Leonard had a problem with their training staff. That's obvious because he went and had a second opinion.
Right. Yes.
I think that he doesn't trust their medical staff, and I don't blame him for not trusting the medical staff because we see that medical staffs, all you got to do is look at the New York Mets, look at some teams, and look at what's happened to some of those players. Remember the Cleveland Browns a few years ago with the staph infections, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with staph infections. So I don't blame him for having a problem with that. I don't blame him for having a problem with his teammates when Tony Parker talking about my injury was worse than yours and all this other nonsense. I don't believe he trusts that organization at all, but I don't believe he's ever trusted that organization. And it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that he's not a guy who trusts very easily. His circle of people is very small. It's him, his uncle, his family. And basically, if you ain't related to him, he doesn't trust you.
Okay.
And I don't have a problem with that because you know what that does? That keeps out the outside noise, that keeps leaks down, but it also ensures that you know what's going on with your money and with you. You know, but this trade demand nonsense, like I said, because I read the story, it was league sources this and league sources that. Kawhi Leonard ain't said a doggone word. Just like when the Uncle Tom at ESPN came out with saying all that nonsense, and then Kawhi Leonard, when he finally did speak, said, "I didn't say that."
Right.
So,
yeah,
I think it's clickbait and it's ESPN trying to generate a story based on rumors and innuendo.
Okay. All right, that's an interesting thought. I gotta tell you, you said that he didn't say anything. However, what do you think about do you think it's clickbait as well as far as the report from his team, you know what I'm saying, his management team saying that they want him to play in New York? You think that's another throwing shit on the wall, so to speak?
Yeah, because the Spurs themselves have said Kawhi Leonard has not requested a trade. That's the organization said. So if the organization said that, that's it. Now, they didn't say no comment, which would tell you that he did request it, but we don't want to answer the question.
Right.
They didn't say, they didn't dance around it. They didn't give you the non-answer answer. They said unequivocally he did not request a trade.
Wow.
So everything else that's being reported to me is BS.
Well, damn. I mean, that pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Because that pretty much blows up my topic, to be perfectly honest, because I'm up here thinking of scenarios now in which, let's say if this is true, playing devil's advocate, let's say if this is true, that this would affect the free agency. This could perhaps affect the free agencies of LeBron James and Paul George, because he was linked to want to go to Los Angeles, preferably the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? How that would affect the free agency of LeBron James and also Paul George. But since he didn't say anything, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess it's business as usual. You know what I'm saying?
But see, the thing is, here's the thing. Who are the Knicks trading for Kawhi Leonard? Let's be logical, right? Take the fandom out of it, okay? Tell me who on this team not named Kristaps Porzingis, right, that the San Antonio Spurs would take in exchange for Kawhi Leonard.
Exactly. I thought the same thing. I was like, you know what? And that's an excellent point. Just from that alone, I should have come on now. You know what I'm saying? I should have had more common sense and be like, you know what, this is a bunch of BS. You understand what I'm saying? Really?
Yeah.
Because as these reports are going on and on, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Let me throw another team out there that I was like, and I know you can straighten me out on this one. When they had the nerve to push out the Sacramento Kings, I was like, wait a minute. Draft picks, perhaps I get it, but as far as players, I'm sorry, I just don't see anybody on that team.
Exactly. Which, and then when you think about it again, if Popovich comes back, right? Because
Right,
that to me, that's still an if. Do
right,
you really think he wants to come back and rebuild that team? He's 69 years old. He's
exactly.
coming back to compete for championships. So you giving him a bunch of draft picks, what's
Mhm.
that doing for him? At this stage of his career. If it was, say, 5 years ago, right? Then yes, he probably could take and say, I got 5 years to build this up. We'll still
Yeah,
be competitive, but we're kind of retooling. He's
right.
69. Ain't no retooling at 69, bro. It's
Now you
give
got that.
me a ready-made team so
Mhm.
I can compete for a championship right now because I ain't gonna be here too much longer. I'm 69, bro.
Mhm.
Okay.
For sure. You know what I mean? Which I just don't understand that, man. And just like I should have known better. I honestly should have known better because I'm just like, all this is coming, as you probably seen a notification. If you have like a Bleach Report or whatever the case may be, and you hear and see this thing, it's coming fast and furious.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I was
But
like, wow.
But when you read the story, all you see are the words sources, sources,
Look,
sources,
sources.
sources,
Right,
sources.
right. Mm-hmm.
It's expected. It's sources are said. It's expected. All that say, and not for nothing, the league offices in New York, which tells me league sources means New York media, because
Mm,
every single like if Kawhi Leonard came story that's in the New York media, if you
mm.
think about it, a couple of days later, there's a ESPN report of sources saying this, that, and the third.
Yes, 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 indeed, sir. But it's a lot of BS, man. I'm just so sick of, man, like I said, I should have just really, really thought about it and checked. You know what I'm saying? But I bet you from this point forward, I bet you I damn sure do.
Because I know Twitter's blowing up right now with we
Yeah.
could give them Courtney Lee and Joakim Noah, and they'll give us Kawhi Leonard.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The all too familiar refrain of "When hope springs eternal." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yes, exactly. You know what I mean? So yeah. Can you imagine that? Joe Kim
Man,
Noah.
listen.
Yeah, yeah.
R.C. Buford would get beaten up by the owner and Popovich if he made
Mhm.
a trade like that. Let me get this
Right.
straight. You traded Kawhi Leonard for Courtney Lee. Yeah. Let me talk to you in this alley right here for a minute.
Exactly. For sure, man. That shit didn't make no sense whatsoever, bro. I was like, and just like I said, all this is coming in fast, and like you said, Twitter's on fire, and da 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 da, and this and that and the third, and I'm like, wow, all this for nothing. Much ado about nothing, and that's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. Much ado about nothing. What a shame, man. So now we're gonna be a little bit more realistic. Kawhi's probably not going nowhere since he ain't saying anything. He ain't demand no trade. It was the freaking league sources, infamous, the usual bullshit, throwing shit against the wall, trying to stir up a story, make up a story for clickbait and ratings and all this other nonsense, man. I'm just so tired. This is why sometimes I'm really getting tired of sports. You understand
Yep.
what I'm saying? I get tired of sports world at times. I'm not gonna front. And even
Yep.
though this is my job at doing this, but it's just annoying as fuck. You know what
It
I'm
is.
saying?
It
It's
is.
just ingenuous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Until they offer him the max contract and he turns it down,
Right.
or they say they're not going to offer him the max contract.
Right.
Now, from that point on, if one of those two things happens, from that point on,
Mhm.
yes, expect him to be traded. Okay.
Right.
But
Hmm.
that's and they probably will try to have those conversations. I'm thinking before the draft. Or
Mm.
actually, you know what? I wouldn't have him till after the draft when you know what players have been drafted. So if you're really going to trade him, because again, I don't see them trading him for draft picks. But
Right.
until that conversation is had,
Mhm.
it's kind of what they say: everything after but is BS. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Right. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous, bro. Um, let's do a little moving on. Give me a second. Let me see this guy. I sent you the email, dude. I mean, man, I'm trying to get Max 611 on here, but to no avail. I'm just
I
sending him
know
another.
he keeps, yeah, it keeps trying to
Mhm,
connect to his call versus it
mhm.
connecting him to this call.
Right. Hold on for a second. I think I'm trying to send it again, Chandler. Can you still hear me?
Good.
Okay. Give me 1 second, because I want to swing the conversation to another topic, and of course, it's still basketball related, but the impending free agency of Kyrie Irving, you know, and see what's going on with that. So just yeah, try this guy again, see what happens. All right, I just sent you another message, Max 611. So let's see what happens this time. Hopefully everything is good. We'll find out in a minute.
Right.
Um, yeah. Now, there's talk about, I guess Kyrie is a New York guy, tri-state area guy, and there's a lot of talk about him possibly being in the mix as a free agent in coming to New York and playing as a Knick. What's some of your initial thoughts on that?
I don't want him. One. Um, again, if you actually listen to what he said, the reason
Mhm.
that he's not going to sign an extension is because it would cost him money. He
Okay.
didn't say he wasn't signing the extension because he wanted to be a free agent. He said, I'm
Mm.
not signing it. There you go, Marcus
Mhm.
here. I'm not
Yeah, I see
signing
it.
it because
Mhm.
it what doesn't make financial sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make
All
sense.
makes sense.
So
Exactly.
that's one thing. I don't
Mhm.
want Kyrie Irving simply because Kyrie Irving is not a winning player. I don't give a damn
Mhm.
what he did or didn't do with LeBron James. They won one championship with him, and that was more about LeBron James than it was Kyrie Irving. We've
Mhm.
seen Kyrie Irving as the lead man. I've seen that
Yeah.
story.
Right.
I don't want a ball dominant point guard
Mhm.
when I'm trying to build a foundation of a certain type of team. Kyrie Irving doesn't fit that. I don't give a damn how you try to spin it.
Mhm.
Kyrie Irving is a ball dominant, shoot first, pass second point
Right.
guard.
Right.
Okay, the Boston Celtics without him got to game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And I would say, honestly, I don't think they would have got there with him. I
Hmm.
think they would have been knocked out in the second round because a lot of their younger players wouldn't have gotten to play.
Good, excellent point. Excellent point. Uh, like the Terry Roziers, exactly. Excellent point, for real. You're right about that. Is Mac, you're in? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you
Oh,
hear
okay.
me?
Yes, I can. That's what I was kind of waiting for. I see a picture up there, but I'm not hearing your voice. Kind of scared me for a second.
Well, no, I was
Uh,
listening. I didn't want to break, I didn't want to break I didn't want to groove kill
yeah,
Chandler.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can't believe that Max 611 didn't want to do his normal groove killing routine. Wow, I'm shocked. You're actually growing as a human being, sir. I love it.
Hey, I haven't had an insult from Hollop in weeks. I've been
Oh,
doing
that's
very well. I
yes.
listen to the shows.
I
It's
love it.
flowing a little better.
I love it.
And he raised some good points.
You're actually growing as a person. How about that? It only took
Wh-
48 years. God bless you.
Whatever. Whatever.
It's all good. It's all good. But Chandler, that's an excellent point. Getting back to the talk on Kyrie Irving and stuff like that, and them probably not even making the conference finals. I have to agree. That's an excellent point. Because they wouldn't have these young players grow had they been stifled by Irving playing loads of minutes. You understand? So that's fantastic. Hmm.
Right. Can I add on?
Please,
He's also always injured.
boy, yeah.
He's got this last surgery. I think the plate that's in his knee or the screw was irritating,
Mm,
causing like an infection. Keep Kyrie in Boston. We don't need him here in New York.
mm,
I like watching him as a player at times, but like Chandler said, we saw what he did in Cleveland when it was him and Tristan and a couple of other people, and they sucked. And he couldn't lead. He's not a leader. He's like you said, he's a ball dominant, score first point guard who doesn't
Mhm.
really play good defense either.
Right, right. Well, that's true. I mean, you know, yeah, Chandler said he don't want him in New York. I can't blame
I
him.
don't either.
Well, you know what? But here's the funny thing. And this is why I hate getting discussions with people at my job about sports because it's just they're over the top in ridiculousness,
Mhm.
and I just give them the side eye like, come on, man, y'all smarter than that. At least you're supposed to be smarter than that, and not to be insulting, but that's how I feel. I just feel like calling them fucking morons or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because oh yeah, we get Kyrie here. Oh, we can make a run at the playoffs, and I'm like, stop, please, stop being emotional. You're giving your heart to this team, but you're not being realistic. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with being a fan, but at least be realistic about your fan. I mean, your team. Be
Right.
realistic, okay? Let's not have these pie in the sky expectations, these unrealistic expectations. We already know what it is. You understand? Stop fooling yourself. I'm like,
Mhm.
I feel like, you know what it is? I feel like I'm like the Joker in the Dark Knight. Oh, yeah, it's the Dark Knight. Hold on. Is that the right one? I'm trying to think of the right movie. I'm sorry. No, actually, remember the movie Spider-Man, the first one with against the
Right.
Green Goblin, right?
Right.
And he said to him, make your choice between being a hero or joining him, joining the Goblin forces and destroying the city. And he's like, you chose to be a hero, so you basically chosen misery. You
Mhm.
understand? And that's what these Knicks fans are doing, man. Come on, man, stop it. You know, we keep saying here in the paint about the New York Knicks. You can shuffle the deck of cards all you want. The results is going to be the same. You're not getting the royal flush. You're not getting it. You barely get two pairs. Okay,
Right.
stop it.
They keep saying we're changing the culture, changing the culture. The culture is worse,
Right.
but I don't like Terry Mills or whatever his name, whatever Mills' first name is. I don't like that dude.
You don't like Steve Mills.
Yeah, Steve Mills, whatever his name is. I don't like him. He's stupid. He's been
Mm-hmm.
fired before by the Knicks. He showed he was inept. He showed he's been a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Perry has not won where he's been a GM at. He's been in Orlando. He's been in Detroit.
Right.
He's been with Sacramento. He
Mm-hmm.
seems like a good guy, but I'm not sure about him either. And
Mm-hmm.
I like Fizdale. I think Fizdale can be a good coach. He just needs to be given a chance and given talent.
Right.
Going forward, the Knicks have to get the right talent. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Kyrie Irving. I'm not. I remember when he was in Cleveland and LeBron hadn't made the move there, and
Mm-hmm.
had LeBron not gone to Cleveland, I believe Kyrie would have left in his walk year as a free agent, and he would have come here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and if you check the archives, I said on the show that he was coming here, and back then I kind of would have liked him because he was young, blah blah blah. But then watching him in Cleveland, no, we don't need a often injured shoot first point guard.
Right. Well, you're right. I have to agree with both of you gentlemen. You're both correct in that because that's just what he is, especially with the often injured part. You
Right.
understand that goes without question. Um, Mac, well, I don't know if you heard us, myself and Chandler talking about this whole Kawhi Leonard. You probably, I want to just hear what you have to say about it. Even though you probably heard what myself and Chandler was saying. And what do you think?
Um, I'm iffy on Kawhi Leonard coming here because He's been injured. We don't know the extent of that injury. It was real hush hush, quiet, mysterious. He didn't play all season. And what was it? A strain
Mhm.
initially, or something similar to what Victor Cruz had. But anyway,
Mhm.
um, I don't know about him being that guy that could lead us.
Mhm.
Playing it, I think he just fit Popovich's system and what they needed.
Right.
You know, they needed him to score, but he didn't have to score a lot. I mean, he averaged 20 points a game the past two seasons prior to this injury riddled season. He's a good defensive player, good, decent all around player.
Mhm.
Um, but what was he playing around in San Antonio? Tim Duncan as he declines.
Right.
Ginobili and Tony Parker as they decline.
Mhm.
And the other role players in San Antonio.
Okay.
So I don't know what he would do if he has to come here and be the man.
Mhm.
So
Well,
I would kind of leave him alone also.
okay. Well, it's funny. Like I said, I don't know if you heard, but Chandler had some excellent points. He certainly straightened me out. Because like I was saying, all these notifications and reports coming at us fast and furious.
Right.
But we never heard the words from him saying he wanted
Mm-hmm.
to be traded. Chandler also brought out the fact that it was mostly from league sources. What I'm
Right.
saying? And that's them again throwing shit against the wall, uh,
Mm-hmm.
making a story. What I'm saying? Try to add clickbait.
Right.
And I mean, when you take a look at all the evidence, all that, you take all that in consideration. Well, yeah, the man's probably going to be in San Antonio, and that's just what it is. And I'm up here thinking of different scenarios. I'm all in the sauce. You understand? I'm going for the okey doke. You know what I'm saying? And speculating on how this can impact the LeBron James sweepstakes, so to speak, and also with Paul George. You understand? And but once I got straightened out, I'm like, well, why am I even considering this when this is not even going to be a fact? You get my drift?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just like, wow. Um, yeah, but I don't want Kyrie here either, to be honestly. I'm not even a Nick fan to tell you the truth. So you already know the deal. I'm not even a damn Nick fan, so it doesn't even matter to me if he's there or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me and my thoughts. Um, can I do a little moving on? I want to talk about something I didn't put on the docket tonight. And it has to do with the our favorite baseball team here in New York. That'd be the New York Yankees doing their thing. I see a few things out there. One, I heard that this guy is just doing it right now. I mean, I know it's a long season, but Mr. Gleyber Torres is ridiculous right now. Okay, have you gentlemen seen this boy play?
Oh yeah. I've seen a couple of games. He makes the right play, the smart play. He's unflappable.
Mm-hmm.
you know, just this the bright lights aren't too big for him, and
Right.
he's come in and he added a spark to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to a coworker this morning, and we were talking about people being in slumps. Like Didi is coming out of the slump he
Yes.
was in for May,
Right.
and while he was in his slump, other people were playing well. People making plays in situations, necessarily not having people not being hot, but
Mm-hmm.
just their team is so deep that guys can go through prolonged slumps and they're still gonna win games because they
Right.
play good defense. They've been getting good pitching.
Mm-hmm.
CC has been playing well. Um, Sonny Gray is the problem. He I don't know. They may need to think about trading that dude, or just like
Mm-hmm.
Chandler had said a couple of shows back, maybe moving him back in the rotation because he's
Rotation.
not a number 2, he's not a number 3, he's like a number 4.
Mhm.
And just Glaber is just locked in and playing well.
Right.
Wait till
Right.
Stanton gets unlocked. Then the fun begins.
Man, listen. I gotta tell you, it's fun watching this kid play. I think he has 13 home runs, if I'm not mistaken, already this season. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you gotta and excuse me. And how old is he? He's like 20 years old, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Like 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. This kid is and again, right now he's doing his thing. Obviously, adjustments and slumps will come as it's a long season. I understand that, but for what he's doing right now as a young man, a young 20-year-old, okay, playing in a pennant race. Well, he will be playing a pennant race. That's obvious. Uh, but here in New York City, under the big and bright lights, he's doing his thing. To me, that says
Right.
something. That you're not scared to play here in New York because this is a tough crowd. You know what I'm saying? New York fans, Yankee fans especially, it's a tough audience. You got to win them over. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because most Yankee fans are spoiled rotten. You understand? If you don't produce right, as you can see, there was a case earlier this year when Stanton struck out like 4 or 5 times, and the boos were cascaded down upon him. You understand?
Right.
And remember, this is last year's National League MVP. Hello, and you're booing him early in the year. So this is Yankee fans are spoiled, and if they don't get their way right away, you're pretty much in the
Mm-hmm.
freaking doghouse early. You understand? But this kid he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to give him plenty of props. Charlie, you still there? Oh, I see him
Yeah,
still.
yeah, I'm still here. I had to trying to get to the mute button. I was washing some dishes, so I had it on mute.
Oh, okay, brother. I'm sorry.
See, he's so respectful.
Yes, he is. Not well. Somebody else should take a cue from that, but I'm not going to name names. Uh, I'm sorry, Chandler. Listen. What do you think about this kid, man?
I think that again, for me, I don't care what a young player hits initially. Although this kid is raking, I
Mm,
look at how they play the field. That's because for me, I'd rather have a guy save me runs than worry about him getting me runs because
mm,
he's gonna impact more games by saving runs.
yeah.
He's made 8 errors, but most of those errors honestly have been through a lack of focus sometimes.
Okay.
The kid defensively is beyond his years, and it keeps being not said enough that he's a converted shortstop. This is his first
Right.
time really playing second base.
Mm,
He made a defensive play tonight where it was in the fifth inning. You had the kid, Loa Siga, was trying to get through the fifth inning to get the win. There's a grounder to second. There's a runner on first. The runner slows down, almost comes to a stop to let the ball go by. Torres is heading towards first. He spins and goes to second to get the out.
right.
Why did you say, okay, what's the big deal? This is a pitcher in his first start trying to get through the inning. If you put a
Mm,
man on second there, he probably doesn't get through the fifth inning to get the win because now there's more pressure on him. He's already walked 4 people.
mm,
So, with me thinking along with him, if you go for the out at second, right, yes, you still have a man at first, but a base hit at that point doesn't tie the game. This kid still has a chance to get the win and get out of the inning.
right.
Next batter, the kid got him out. He gets through the fifth inning. That was a veteran play. That's a play a veteran infield would make for a young pitcher because you
Okay.
want to keep as many men out of scoring position as possible when you have a young pitcher in his first start.
Okay.
So those are the things that I love about Torres. The fact that he's doing those things at 21, man, listen, the sky's the limit for this kid. If he can
Yeah.
stay healthy, then I honestly believe in 15, 18 years, we talk about putting his number on the wall.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I would have to agree with that. I'm glad you said it out there, not me. But I would agree. You know what I mean? I definitely agree. Also, I see some stuff. Notifications I get, and how do you guys? The Yankees need to make a pitch for some elite pitching, and when I say that, my first immediate thought is like the crosstown rivals. If they can make that happen, we touched on this a little bit earlier in an earlier broadcast, and that's the fact the Grom and Syndergaard are out there. Well, should be out there. Let me just point that. You understand? Because as it was said by Chandler, that the Mets aren't going anywhere. You got a young staff. You got guys that's waiting in the wings that could be in the rotation. I agree with that fully. So why not try to bargain? Get some chips. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? As far as players and stuff like that.
Trade
And
one of them at least.
yeah, and I think the Yankee, if they're going to, make available one of those two, I believe that the Yankees should come calling.
Yeah. Yeah.
I truly believe
Also,
that. Hmm.
I saw an article, and uh I wanted to just walk up to the reporter and slap the mess out of him.
Okay.
He's saying the Yankees should go after the Padres relief pitcher is a lefty, I think Brad Hand, that's his name, Chandler, or Brian Hand.
Yeah, Brad Hand. Yeah,
Brad Hand, right?
Hmm.
He's solid. He's a good lefty reliever.
Hmm.
And the reporter's notion for going to get him was because we'd keep him away from the Astros who need relief pitching, and he'd help the Astros, and his whole theory was, well, you can shorten the game, or how baseball is now. They want pitchers to
Right.
go 5 innings, and then you
Right.
start bringing in relievers, regardless of how the pitcher is looking and how the game is looking. And as you say it, or they go to that manual, and the manual
Yeah.
says, well, the third time around, hitters start figuring out the pitcher. So we got to take this guy out. And usually, I've watched some games, this
Mhm.
year and in the past. I see the manager take out a pitcher who's pitching well. They
Right.
bring in a reliever, and the reliever either starts walking people or he gets smacked around and it blows up the game. And then you have a game that could have been maybe a 4-1 game. It's now a 7-8 game and y'all lose. So they don't need Brad Hand. They need an elite starter, or a starter who's better than Sonny Gray, and they could punch in at the
Mhm.
top of their rotation. They
Yeah.
don't need another reliever. We got enough relievers, and
Right.
our relievers have been pitching well at this point. Um, like I said earlier, CC's been playing well. Uh, I like, Severino's been our guy. Tanaka has been you know.
Right.
Um, Sonny Gray is 4-4.
Mhm.
You want him to pitch against teams we can beat as opposed to pitching against the elite teams.
Right.
I like Domingo Germain. He's good. He's
Okay.
solid. And
Okay.
they just need to not try to make a move so that you trying to avoid Houston or what Houston is going to do, because it's inevitable that you two teams are probably going to meet, you Houston and the Red Sox, come winning time. So
Right.
those are my thoughts.
Okay. Okay. I hear you, man. Um. Again, I would hope the guy they would get would be DeGrom, because he's just ridiculous right
Hmm.
now. That's the guy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if the Mets make him available, the Yanks definitely they gotta make a call and try to acquire him, because that's the guy they need. To be honestly, that's the guy
right.
that's gonna have you quality starts, innings. They need that. You understand? And he's Degrom is what, 28?
28, 29. He's an ace. Like you said, all year he's been pitching well. Really, he should be like 7-1, but
Right.
he's got like 4 wins and a bunch of no decisions.
Right, exactly. Which makes no sense whatsoever. So he needs to go to a team that's going to throw him some run support during his starts. And, I can't think of anybody better than the Bronx Bombers, to be
Right.
perfectly honest. So, um, yeah, well, we'll see how this plays out, man. I'm sure because we have the deadline coming up in about another month,
Mm-hmm.
which should be interesting. I want to see how it shakes out for both teams. Here, honestly, as the Mets as sellers, obviously, quite possibly as
Right.
sellers, and the Yankees as buyers. So let's see what happens. It'll be quite
Mm-hmm.
interesting for me.
Yep.
Um, moving on, the lane of boxing. It's on. Rematch is on. September 15th. I'm going to assume this is going to be held out in Vegas.
Right.
Um, yeah, I'm going to assume that September 15th. It goes down. Gennady Golovkin, otherwise known as Triple G, will take on Canelo Alvarez, who I'm putting my money on. I got $100 riding on that one. I know I said him there. That's
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I got $100 on Canelo. Even though in my heart of hearts, I know Triple G won last year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that you already know how I feel. I thought that was due to a lack of activity by Canelo.
Right.
You understand? Because he
It was a
wasn't really
close
being.
fight.
It was a close fight, and see, this is why I think Canelo's going to win because even though it was a close fight, Canelo wasn't really being aggressive as he should have been. He wasn't attacking, in my view.
Right.
So and he's more aggressive in this upcoming fight. I see a victory for him. I
Right.
really.
I don't think Triple G was very aggressive either. They both fought. They didn't fight their fights.
You think so? I think Triple G was just a little bit more aggressive
Well,
than
he
Canelo.
was more active, but they both didn't fight their fights.
Okay, so
They're both
you're saying they were kind of feeling each other out in a way.
right. They were being cautious because both of them have Triple G has power and Canelo has power. They
Mhm.
both hit hard. And I think they didn't want to they didn't want to make a mistake and get knocked out
Okay,
and us, the next morning laughing at them and talking about
right.
that somebody got put to sleep.
Okay. True. I feel
And
you.
I just think they didn't let their hands go enough. And
Mhm.
what I need to do is look at in comparison other fights that they've had where we see they probably threw more punches or threw different types of punches. They just look
Right.
it wasn't a typical Triple G fight and it wasn't a typical Canelo fight. And it
No.
was boring.
Yeah, it was. I would have to agree. It really was. You know what's, you know what kills me, bro,
What?
about this. I mean, finally, I guess the money was right for both camps. They agreed. But I don't know, man. It just amazes me that these guys will just try to just and maybe I'm being ridiculous, but I'm like, just get the fight done. Stop quibbling over a couple of dollars. I mean, it just annoyed the fuck out of me. I'm like, really, all this back and forth, and you saying this and return fire, looking like a couple of schoolgirls on, taunting each other. Just get the business done. This is the fight that people want to see. You understand? It's unsettled. You had a draw. Come on, get it done and over with. It's not that difficult. You know, it really wasn't. It just seemed comical to me. You know.
Right.
So, well, what can I say? Um, Let me just say this real quick. What's up, dude? What's up with your boy, man?
Who?
We got another one on the list, yo. Did you hear about this? Kellen
What
Winslow?
happened?
You
Oh
didn't hear about
yeah.
this?
Yeah, yeah. I saw.
Yo, what's going on with this guy, man?
I think he has some kind of mental issues because remember when he was on the Jets a couple years back
Hmm.
and he got caught in a parking lot masturbating
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
and we,
Yeah.
we talked about that on our show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um um now it's he got I don't know if that story, the first story, is believable, where he was trying to buy a house with his mom. Is that true? Or his stepmother? Is that a fact? Is that
I,
factual?
brother, I can't even call it, man. You know what I mean?
And now there's allegations of
Hmm.
he was trying to rape somebody, or he did rape somebody.
Well, according to he was targeting elderly women, from what I understand.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah. This, some people throughout the CTE, we've thrown out the mental state of dude. Um,
Mm-hmm.
wow. I don't know, but it's sad, man. It's actually pretty sad. I'm just like, I just can't believe it. You know?
Well, can I jump in here, man?
Please.
Um, First off, it's suspicion, which
Okay.
means
Right.
that um, there was an initial thing where he was arrested on a burglary charge.
Right.
Right.
Here's how Southern California works when it comes to their law enforcement. Let's say they
Oh.
catch you on a burglary charge.
Uh-huh.
If there are any similar crimes that have happened that they don't have a viable suspect for, they'll charge you with those too. Suspicion of, well, you probably did those too.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
came out and said he raped them. They added these charges after the burglary charge,
Mm.
probably because whatever the burglary was, the MO was similar to some other crimes that happened.
Hmm.
Now, if it turns out he did these, fry his ass. I'm real clear
Right.
about that.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But the rush to judgment against this kid, I find interesting,
Hmm.
um, because arrested on suspicion of is not the same thing as arrested for attempted. You understand what I'm saying? The
Right.
verbiage, the
Okay.
verbiage is very important when they arrest you. The verbiage they use in the arrest is very important.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay, because it tells you how much evidence they have.
Hmm.
They
Right.
arrest you for suspicion of something. They ain't got a lot of evidence. They just trying to see if you're the one that did it. When they arrest you for attempted this, that, the other, or arrest you for rape or assault or whatever, they got the evidence. It's a matter now of if they can get a jury to buy the evidence. It's three
Okay.
totally separate things.
Right.
And I'm not
Right.
Okay.
defending anything.
Right.
I'm just saying there's
Just
been a
saying.
rush to judgment
Mm-hmm.
because Kellen Winslow has made no friends in the media through some of his
Hmm.
actions in the
Right.
past, and didn't make a lot of friends in the sports world through his own actions,
Right.
so
Okay.
that he's an easy target.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a feeling that most of these charges are going to be dropped, except probably the burglary. But you won't see anything about that. What I'm saying is this story is just going to suddenly go away, and you're not going to hear anything else
Right.
about it,
Right.
which means that the charges were dropped.
Right.
But
Okay.
no one's going to remember that. All they're going to remember is, oh, Kevin Winslow's a rapist.
Hmm.
Right.
Well, can I add something to that, Chandler? Um, I'm reading something right now, and it says that he was arraigned today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On a list of charges, which I understand could possibly be dropped. Um, but it says he's been charged.
Yes, with suspicion of. And that's the thing.
No, I'm not looking at suspicion. I mean, unless they're doing something with these words, I see kidnapping and forcibly raping a 54-year-old woman on March 17th of this year.
Okay, well, then if that's the case, then that means they got the evidence. That means he did it, so fuck him, fry him.
You know what I'm saying? But I heard you. I listen. I heard where you going, and listen. Listen. I'm with you on that. To make no mistake. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that's why I'm looking. And this is like a couple hours ago.
Okay.
According to a report. Yeah, this came in like a couple hours ago. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Something is wrong with him. Something is serious. Something ain't right. I mean, he had talent also. He was a
Yes.
talented player.
Mm.
He probably, if it was a perfect world, he be damn near a Hall of Famer like his father because he
Yeah,
had some talent, and
yeah.
He did a sad.
it's just crazy to
Mm-hmm.
see that you know, it's like he unraveled in front of us. What are you doing? Why
Mm-hmm.
Well,
are you getting
you know what?
help?
You know what? Sometimes it ain't mental health. Sometimes people are just assholes.
That's true.
He's a spoiled rich kid. At the end of the day, Kellen Winslow Jr. is a spoiled rich kid. This
Right.
is what you see spoiled rich kids do.
That is
See,
true.
I'm not willing to every time somebody does something start talking about mental health. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you're just a bad guy
That's true.
because Kellen Winslow came up, and even in college, he was a spoiled rich kid, running around talking about we warriors and we soldiers. Fuck you know about being a soldier. You understand what I'm saying? And
Right.
honestly, and his father did him no favors because his father made excuse after excuse after excuse for his
Mm-hmm.
son's behavior.
Right.
So to me, this is the result of a spoiled rich kid going around thinking I could do what I want and always getting bailed out.
Mm.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah. Perhaps. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's true.
And
Mm-hmm.
Because if
now
he
the
was,
situation is serious,
yeah,
real
but think about it. If he
serious.
was white, right, we would not be surprised at this. And I hate to say it like that, but if he was a rich white kid, we
Mm-hmm.
would not be surprised that he's in this situation, would we?
Right.
That's true.
Not even exactly. You're right about that. We wouldn't be surprised at all.
But you know what, Chandler? When I was in college, it was some it was a few people in the school who, you know, they came from affluent families and were rich.
Mm.
Um Ralph Lauren's one of his relatives was we were mad cool in college. That dude was cool, even though his family had crazy paper. One
Right.
of the coolest dudes I ever met. The black kid who was from Dobbs Ferry and his dad was the
Yeah.
doctor and his mom, he was like living a Cosby life. He was a jerk
Mm-hmm.
and he was black. But I get what you're saying, Chandler. So, you know, we wouldn't be surprised. Look at Johnny Manziel. He's an asshole.
Mm.
Comes from money.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might take you guys to the store with me. I need some milk. So if I go silent, it's because I'm muted as I'm walking down the block.
All good, brother. All good. Now, good,
But
man.
there is though there's a topic I want to try to talk to you guys
Okay.
about when you guys get an opportunity. Um, so go ahead, but there's a topic I really would like to.
Okay. Oh, no problem, sir. Mac, go ahead and finish what you were saying about Manzo.
No, just that he's a rich kid and he's an asshole.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
we
I hear
see
you.
it. He's an asshole.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's degrees with it, but I understood where Chandler was going when he said, we would be surprised if there's a white dude
Yeah.
wilding out like that.
Right. Exactly.
And we're kind of surprised that it's Kellen Winslow Jr. because we loved his father.
Yeah.
I know his father was one of my favorite players.
Mm-hmm.
And watching Junior play, Junior had talent.
He did.
And
He did.
I
You know.
just but like you said, he might be an asshole. Just like I don't know where he comes from. What's the dude who was with the Cowboys who's in MMA now, who threw his
Oh,
girlfriend?
Hardy.
Hardy. He's an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
You can see
Well.
the asshole in him.
Yeah. Well. No question about that. Yeah. Greg
He's a
Hardy.
straight asshole.
Well, you know what? Staying in the lane of NFL, there are reports, glowing reports. Now, to me, this is, and maybe this is me being a hater.
Uh-oh.
Uh, yeah. Well, what can I tell you? That's life in the city. Um, the dude, Sam Darnold,
Right.
uh, getting a lot of great reviews from his teammates. Uh, they're saying that he's going to be a star and all these
Right.
other accolades early on.
Right.
Yeah. To me, that doesn't amount to a hill of beans to me at this point right
They ain't even put the pads on. And he ain't been hit yet.
now. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that you can hit a quarterback during practice, but
Right. But I'm just saying that amounts to a hill of beans to me. It's nonsense to see all this praise by his teammates, and before you guys nail me with like, oh, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to lift them up and blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear that shit. Perfectly honest, I really don't want to hear that bullshit. Okay. Um, Show me something in training camp. You know what I'm
right
saying? Like
with
the
the
third.
pads on.
Yeah, put the pads on. Show me something in the second, third, and fourth games of preseason. Show me that with the pads on against competition. You know what I'm saying? You show me something that I can say, okay, this guy might have the fucking goods. Then I might be on board with you. But right now, stop. Stop it. Please.
Okay. Can I add on real quick?
Please do.
Hackenberg got cut again. The
Yeah,
Raiders cut
I
that
saw.
ass.
Mm-hmm. And
But
apparently, John Gruden had an issue with that.
he didn't want to cut him.
No, it's not that he didn't want to cut him. He was saying that I think they had four quarterbacks at the time.
Right.
Um, and it was already hard for the number three quarterback to get snaps, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
and repetition and whatnot. So, but he was saying that, I think if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but he was alluding to the fact that basically his name is Mud throughout the league, and that he can't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like people are down on him in the NFL.
right. Right.
I understand.
And
So, well,
if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. But getting back to the Jets, also Teddy Bridgewater is looking good too.
right, okay, okay. I mean that's a good thing, but I mean, well, he might be looking good, but the way they went about praising this dude Darno, you know, I mean, I just thought it was like, really, come on, man, and
Well,
you already know, yeah,
we in the number one of the top media markets in the United States.
hmm
This kid was picked, you know,
hmm
at the top of the draft, and
right,
the Jets are a sorry organization who
right,
they got to build this kid up,
hmm
and they got to
I mean,
make it good
mhm.
so the fans will come because the Jets had they're coming off two bad seasons. So,
Mhm.
the guy you got to spin
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, and they're doing an excellent job. They're doing quite a good job. They're doing an excellent job. I'm serious. I'm like, wow. Because I couldn't even believe that shit. I'm reading this. I'm like, are y'all fucking serious with this? Y'all can't be
Right.
y'all can't be serious with this. I'm sorry. And it may sound harsh, but I mean, I can tell right now, I'm not gonna be impressed because just based from three letters alone, and that's USC. I I've seen this movie, one too many times, and it's a proven fact that most of them suck ass.
Hmm.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? From Mark Sanchez to Matt Leinart to Todd Marinovich and the list goes.
Man,
Their quarterbacks for the most part suck. The best one to come out, and this is not a ringing endorsement, at least for me, was Carson Palmer. I've never been a big fan of Carson Palmer. Never.
you might not be, but Carson could play. He was all
He
right.
was all right. Yeah, thank you.
You
He
know,
was all right. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. No matter what he did, because I think there was one year recently, in recent times, where he was considered as an MVP
like 2 years
candidate.
ago.
I think it was
Yeah.
the same year as it was in the same year as Kirk Cousins when they was
Yeah.
throwing him out there, right?
Yeah,
And Carson
that
Palmer was your boy, and and Carson Palmer was thrown out there too. Even
right.
with that, I've never been impressed. He's just all right to me. That's it. But that's your best. Not
Hey,
exactly a ringing
I ain't
endorsement.
mad. I ain't Carson Palmer had a nice career. I can't
Whatever. Whatever. You can't. I can. Okay.
You know, for me, I know he's not like those other dudes
Mhm.
from USC. He
Right.
could at least hold his own a bit in the NFL. Those other dudes, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, that's
Carson Palmer was trash.
thank you, son. Thank
Well,
you.
compared to the other losers from USC, he was all right.
No.
I'm not saying
I just,
I'm not listen. I'm not saying I would want him as my quarterback, but
mm,
you know,
yeah.
Well,
them other dudes is hot garbage.
if you want a guy that'll get you to the playoffs but not win anything, Carson Palmer's your guy.
I
Basically.
agree
But
with you. I agree with you.
so there's that. But
Right.
um, the thing with Darno is again, like you said, everybody looks like a Hall of Famer in shorts and shells.
Right.
I don't want to hear about Sam Darnold because I go back to why the hell did you sign Teddy Bridgewater? See, this
Mm-hmm.
is where
Right.
organizations are ridiculous to me. Why would you
Right.
sign Teddy Bridgewater? And this is willing negligence and malfeasance.
Mm-hmm.
Signed Teddy Bridgewater. You signed Josh McCown, but you do
Mm-hmm.
need one veteran mentor, okay? Not two.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you screwing up Teddy Bridgewater's
Mm-hmm.
career? He could have went somewhere else
Right.
if you knew you weren't to give him a shot to start. Because let's be clear, Sam Darnold is going to start game one.
Mm.
Right.
Okay, you
That's the
don't
way they
draft.
spinning it.
Listen, you don't draft the guy at what was it, number four?
Number two.
Right.
Wait,
Number
was it number
number
two?
two.
Number
Yeah.
4.
It was 2 or 4.
Four.
Right. You don't draft the guy at 4 to not start. You don't. Especially when you're Todd Bowles and your contract is coming up on an end. You don't do
Right.
that. Okay.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Especially when you're Mike McCagnon and right now you're still attached to Christian Hackenberg. And by the way, John Gruden can kiss my ass. Okay. Because where was this level of concern for Geno Smith? Where was this level of concern for Josh Freeman? Where was this level of concern
Mm.
for many of the black quarterbacks to throw out of the league when they have one bad season? Where was this level of
Right.
concern for Robert Griffin III
Right.
over
Mm.
poor Christian Hackenberg? And here's a statement that Gruden made, which just burns my ass.
Okay.
The so-called quarterback guru. How am I supposed to develop a quarterback when I don't have the time to work with him? But
Right.
you're John Gruden. You do the Gruden grinder and the Gruden quarterback thing. And you're such a great quarterback whisperer, but yet you've yet to develop one quarterback in all of the years you've been coaching. But now it's the CBA's fault and not yours. Okay,
Right.
John.
Facts. Facts, brother. Yep.
And his brother is hot garbage.
Who, John Gruden?
Yeah. Jay
Oh, what?
Gruden is hot garbage.
Oh, yeah. Well, fuck that guy. Yeah, pretty much. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I'm
fuck him.
tired of these dudes getting grandfathered in and all this nepotism. Cause that's my brother. He can coach. Get the fuck out of here. You
Get out
can't
of here.
coach, and your brother
Exactly.
could barely coach. Stop it.
Oh, Mac. Hey, Mac. Can I
Yes.
can I can I bring up and Chen? I want to get to your topic as well. But before we do, I wanna get on this real quick, which I thought was funny as hell, man. Do you remember this post in our group on Facebook? Chen, I wish you get Facebook so you could join our group. You would love it. Even if you have a dummy name. Um, it's called The Real and Sports Talk in the Paint. Yo, there was a post in there. CBS
Mhm.
Sports. Remember this one, Mac? CBS Sports talking about who was the what was that? The worst quarterback?
Oh, the one with what's his name
Vince,
from
with Vince,
Tennessee, right?
yeah, with Vince Young.
Right.
I was like, okay, so you never heard of Ryan Leaf. You never you never heard of Matt Leinart. At
Yeah,
least Vince Young,
John Marcus Russell.
yeah, at least Vince Young had some type of
He
some
was
type of level
talented,
of success. He has that, and he had some type of success. He had to win a
right?
record. You
Right.
understand? But to vote him like as one of the worst, I'm like, yo, what? I couldn't believe that shit.
Well, you got to look at that, and I'm gonna bring one up also when we finish another
Okay.
topic about the best at something. Listen, Vince Young was nice.
Mhm.
He just got caught up with a bad organization and a bad coach
Yeah, Jeff Fisher was
who
trash.
did him dirty.
hmm Jeff Fisher was trash. Ain't no question about that.
Right? I don't understand how he keep getting jobs.
I don't get that either. I I don't get that either. He must have been living off that miracle shit. You understand?
Right, right.
Yeah, he was living off that. Period. Nobody could tell me different. He got love from that, and that was it. Other than that, he had
He
no
he
redeeming qualities as a head coach.
he looks stupid. When I see his face, I see that just that dumb, clueless look.
hmm
I don't really
Definitely.
know. I don't really know what I'm doing, but
hmm
they keep hiring me, so we just gonna
Yeah.
do this thing.
Well, that was that music. What was that shit called? The Music City Miracle.
Right,
You understand? And that's just what it
right.
was. At least in my opinion. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen,
So
I'm tired of these guys coming up with clickbait and just
mhm.
it's it's not journalism that they're doing,
Well, you already know it's not. It's BS, man. You know
and that
that's why.
that list was stupid.
Well, this is why I think that I need to further go into like on Twitter.
Right.
Um, I've done a little bit of it, not to the extreme that I want to. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm getting to that level of just like being straight up disrespectful to ESPN and Fox Sports and the
Oh
other
yeah.
sports outlets. I am
Oh yeah.
because I'm sick of them. I'm sick of people posting what these guys say, and then when you say they sound stupid or you hate them, but yet you fucking subscribe to them. Yeah, you
Right. And
understand?
you wasted valuable time listening to their dumb, crazy,
Exactly.
moronic, myopic views.
That shit
Like
just puzzles me.
I want to punt anybody in the group who y'all keep post Jason Whitlock again.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's
Yeah, man.
He stay away from me on Twitter because I when I had the other account, I used to flame him daily.
Mhm.
I used to flame him daily
Yeah.
and poach listens from him because
hmm
I would tweet, you sound really stupid, and usually people would like it, and I'm like, y'all want to hear a real show? Just click on
Exactly.
that link.
There you
I'm gonna
go.
go back to that.
There you go. I see Chandler's back. So, brother, what do you have to say, brother?
uh, this is it's a weird subject for me because I'm torn in some ways. Um,
Hmm.
I'm sure you guys have heard about the Oregon State University picture, the kid Mark Heimlich.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I have a problem with the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys know my past and all that. So,
hmm
um, this young man, when he was 15, was convicted of molesting a family relative,
Right.
much younger than him. He
Right.
did
Right.
2 years, 2 years probation. He did a year sex offender counseling. He met all the requirements that they've asked him to meet. This is when he's 15 years old. Okay,
Right.
so he met all the requirements. He did everything he was supposed to do. Since that time, no issues.
hmm
And prior to that, apparently no issues or none that have come to light.
Okay.
Okay. Now he's 22 now, so this is 7 years ago.
hmm
Okay, not yesterday, not a year ago, 7 years ago.
Right.
Um, If he's 22, he's been in college for 4 years, final year of college. That means he started college when he was 18.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Got a scholarship at Oregon State University when he was 18. Now, at that stage, he was a convicted sex offender, which meant he had to disclose by law that he was a registered sex offender. So Oregon State University and all of the people who are screaming about him, especially Brenda Tracy, who I usually am in lockstep with as far as her views and what she's doing. For people who don't know who Brenda Tracy is, she's a rape victims advocate. She attended Oregon State University. She was raped as a student at Oregon State University by football players. University covered it up. So she's been a staunch defender of women's rights, victim rights, all those things. And I'm usually right on board with her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she's being so disingenuous in this situation. And in some ways, man, I got to call bullshit on her. Because here's the thing. She's an Oregon State University alum, a notable one at this stage. Mark Heimlich was given a baseball scholarship when he was 18. I didn't hear a word from Brenda Tracy. I didn't hear a word from any of these victims advocates groups.
Right.
Freshman year, Oregon State doesn't make the College World Series. Nobody has a problem with Mark Heimlich being a baseball player at Oregon State University. At age 19, Mark Heimlich is still a star pitcher for Oregon State University. They are not making the College World Series. Nobody, including Brenda Tracy, an Oregon State alum, who I'm quite sure knew that this young man was pitching there and what his background was. Because again, by law, he had to disclose it to the school, because then the school had to decide whether to allow him on the campus. Okay? Ain't said a word. So we got 18, 19. I'm sorry, 19, 20, 21. So he started when he was 19. I'm sorry, not 18, 19. So we got age 19, age 20. So age 19, age 20, nobody has a problem with this young man being in college. And remember, in college, you have to stay 3 years before you can be drafted. If you go to college as a baseball player, you have to stay 3 years. It's mandatory. All right? So the first time he could be drafted was last year. He went undrafted. Oregon State makes the College World Series Super Regionals. Suddenly, there's a report about what he did when he was 15. Everyone's up in arms. Oh, this is terrible. How could you let him play? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you waited till he was in the spotlight. You waited until maybe he was about to become successful. And now you want to bring up what he did. Feels kind of skeevy to me, but okay. Okay, because maybe there's some new information. No new information. This is something that happened when he was 15. He's now 20. So this is now 19 to 21. It's now 6 years ago. Oh, we should pull a scholarship. Da 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 da. So he doesn't go with the team to the Super Regionals because he doesn't want to detract from with all the attention on him. He doesn't want to impact the team.
Right.
Oregon State University is in the College World Series again. He did not get drafted again. Now here's Brenda Tracy. He shouldn't have a scholarship. If you convicted of this, that, and the other, you shouldn't be allowed to play sports. It's a privilege. Okay, first of all, Brenda, where the fuck were you when he first signed a letter of intent with Oregon State University? Where were you then? Why are you waiting till now to do this? And here's the other piece. It's 7 years later, and he has, for all intents and purposes, rehabilitated. At what point do we not give someone a shot to turn their life around? Now, if he was a grown man and this happened a year ago, I say fuck him, fry him.
Basically.
Okay?
Right.
Yes.
He was a 15-year-old, and I'm going to say he made a mistake. He made decisions, and he suffered the consequences of those decisions, and he's still living with the consequences of those decisions, mind you. But at what point, how far back now are we going to go when there's not a pattern of this behavior? If there's a pattern of the behavior, well, like we were just talking about with Kellen Winslow, his foolery in Kellen Winslow Jr.'s life for a long time. So we look at the totality of his life, be like, Kellen Winslow, fuck you, you're an asshole. This young man, I see a time in his life where he did something terrible, horrible, that's really unforgivable. We all get that.
Right.
Does he get a chance to not undo it, but try to live the best life he can and try to atone for it as best he can? You understand what I'm saying? Now he's saying, I only pled guilty because I didn't want a trial for my family, da 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 da. Listen, people say that shit after the fact because, you know what, I just, You know what? You don't want to deal with the embarrassment of having to admit, you know what, I'm a fucking felon. Okay, and I fucked up and I made some really poor decisions. So maybe you do a little justifying. I'm not excusing it. I'm just laying it out.
Right.
But the fact that they're now trying to crucify this man, and again, this is not a year ago. This is not 2 years. It's not like Joe Mixon, where it happened a year and a half ago, and then it was brought out, and you're like, oh, how was he still at the college?
Right.
He wasn't even in college when this happened.
Right.
Okay. At what point? So how dare they? And again, Brenda Tracy, I'm normally on lockstep with her, but Brenda Tracy's on some bullshit right now. Okay, because don't tell me, first of all, you didn't know he was pitching for your school. So don't act like this is some new fucking information. And the fact that they waited until he was about to become successful to do it is real skeevy to me. If you were going to bring it up, you should have brought it up when he first signed a letter of intent at the school, but nobody did. You held it in your back pocket so you could try to fuck him at the worst possible moment.
Well, that's how they do. That's how they do.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
And you know, Chandler, this is where this smacks into this Me Too stuff and also women's rights, blah blah. You know, and none of that. I take a blind eye to, but now here we bring you since she made it sensationalized by doing what she's doing right now, and most people aren't gonna look at his track record. They're gonna go with what she's saying. Oh, he did the blah blah. They hear rape, they hear molestation. They don't want to hear about him being rehabilitated.
Well, you know what? Exactly, Mac. And you know what? Talking about a brother. We're talking about a brother. You understand? And that's what it is. When I say we're talking about a brother, we're talking about a black man. Come on now. You really?
No. He's not black. He's white.
Oh,
he's white.
Oh, my bad. Ew, excuse me. I'm sorry.
But even so, it doesn't matter his race. It's wrong. It's wrong to just do what you're doing to him, and people sort of like what's the chick that writes for the Daily News for the Mets?
Oh man,
I forget
no
her
clue.
name.
I don't read the Daily News.
Okay, well anyway, this when the situation happened with Jose Reyes,
yes,
I think Jose Reyes had a bad moment, and I'm not, I'm not absolving him for what happened with him and his wife,
right.
but he went and did what he was supposed to do. Instead of this lady reaching out to him and speaking to him and letting him talk and having a dialogue with him on what happened and what he's doing now, she railed on him when the Mets re-signed him. And I'm like, yo, he's donated money. He's put himself out there. He hasn't hidden from what happened. He's gone and working with organizations who deal with men who abuse women. So, people need to get off the bullshit. Just like with Hollop's page today, right? Right? Um, Rodney? Person got mad at Mark because they didn't read and they didn't take heed to what he was saying. One word triggered them.
Wow.
Rape is a trigger word. Molestation is a trigger word. So they're gonna put this young man under the bus, run it over him and run it back over him and try to ruin him again. Because he did what he was supposed to do and he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Sad.
These people are, these people are fucked up.
Yeah.
You need to stop the bullshit.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's like I said, it bothers me. And again, I understand what it is to be a victim, but and yeah, there's certain words I see when I see certain articles that I won't even read the fucking article. You understand what I'm saying? I don't watch. There's certain shows I can't watch. SVU can't watch. Can't watch it.
Right.
At all. Right. I will not watch that show. I don't really watch Criminal Minds, and I love TV police dramas. there's certain TV shows I can't watch. There's movies
Right.
I won't watch. But at the same time, in stories like this, if you tell me something happened 10 years ago and there's no track record since,
Shouldn't be.
why? Why? Okay.
Also,
Can
talk to the man. You an alumnus. You can have a
right,
you can barter that sit down quickly.
Mm-hmm.
right, and that is the biggest thing. She's an alum, a notable alum of this school, and you are trying to screw this kid. And maybe it's because he's an athlete at Oregon State, and there is still some, you still have
Shit
some issues
going
with Oregon
on.
State athletes. I get all of that,
Right.
and I can understand it. But man, I ain't gonna say I feel sorry for this kid because you kind of the bed you make, you gotta lie in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But how long do we keep punishing people?
Right.
Mm.
I agree with you. You can't do something and it go away. That stigma is gonna be attached to you.
Right.
I think in Jose Reyes' situation, it went away because he seems to be a good dude, you know. And so that lady has really she doesn't mention him anymore and doesn't mention his situation, or maybe somebody spoke to her. Yo, stop it, shut up. But and not making light of women being abused. I meant to post this in the group, and I've been wanting to talk about it, but I'm gonna take the time to talk about it now.
What's
The,
that?
Going back to the NFL, the NFL has done nothing in regards to the domestic violence situation. They had a coalition set up. Lady who was the head of it said the league doesn't care. They've had 3 meetings since they set that thing up after the Ray Rice incident. Now, what's that, 4 years ago?
5, isn't it? 4 or 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
Going on 5 years. Really? The fact that certain guys keep getting jobs in their situations was known, like the Giants kicker. Y'all knew what he did that
That's right.
All-Star, the Pro Bowl weekend. He beat his
Mm-hmm.
wife.
Mm-hmm.
They had to be separated by security, but he still got another job. And then Rodney say he don't watch. He not fucking with the Giants just
Nope.
because of that.
Nope.
What was
It's
the words used by the Giants owner? This young man. He's
yeah.
37 years old.
Exactly.
Stop it.
Yeah. That really pissed me off because normally the New York Giants are better than that in handling
Right.
situations. You understand? And
Mhm.
they're better than that. But for them to even sign this guy, what was it? 2 years at $4 million, whatever the
Right.
case may have been,
Yeah.
and to sign and to give this guy money, because he was physically abusive to his wife
For
before they were
years.
married in
Right.
college.
And he had an incident in college.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
and he
You know
was
what I'm
in
saying?
counseling.
Right.
And
So it's not like you guys didn't know. You understand? Stop the bullshit. And it pissed me off. When I learned that, I can't support this team. I'm sorry. I just can't.
right.
Because they really screwed the pooch with that one. And I was
Mhm.
just definitely just devastated by that because I love the Giants. I did.
Mhm.
And I was like, I
Right.
can't, there's no way I could consciously support this team after seeing this.
But
There's
they
no way.
disassociated themselves real quickly from Plaxico Burress when he shot
Right.
himself, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know what? And the fact, and I like that you brought that up because I took a shot at Miles Garrett the other day because he felt the need to talk about Kevin Durant.
Right.
These football players are so quick to talk about Kevin Durant and this and that. And, oh, he broke the NBA. But when it comes to things y'all need to talk about, you're fucking quiet as church mice.
Mm.
Okay?
Oh,
Where's the
man.
NFLPA, like you're talking about on the domestic violence issue? What's the NFLPA doing? They ain't doing nothing, but they damn sure got a lot to say about Kevin Durant.
Right.
Okay, what's the NFLPA doing about CTE and shit? They damn sure got these guys, but all these guys, they got a lot to say about Kevin Durant. But if you ask them, what the NFL doesn't have a domestic violence policy, but they got you got to stand in the locker room for the flag. Oh, I ain't got nothing to say about that, man, because well, you see, what had happened. Fuck, that's why I said, fuck the NFL players.
Right.
They're a bunch of fucking cowards.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of cowards. All they would have, if they have the power, they're afraid to use it. So they keep allowing this shit to happen. Where were the other Giants players who had nothing negative to say about Josh Brown? Well, I don't want to get into it and criticize my teammate. You had no problem criticizing Eli Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You had no problem, with these Jets players when they got guys going through shit. You had no problem throwing Geno Smith under the bus. But this dude that beat the shit out of his girlfriend, oh, well, man, I ain't got nothing to say about that.
Basically.
Oh, and the Giants had another dude, one of their offensive linemen. He beat his chick publicly. We talked about it I gotta find that archive. One of their offensive linemen, he beat the chick out in public in front of I think she went out and he rolled up on her at the club after they were broke up, beat the shit out of her.
Well, this is the same organization that signed Christian Peters.
Right.
Okay. This is the same organization that basically enabled Lawrence Taylor to sleep with 15-year-olds. All right. So none of this shit is surprising to me. I'm more insulted by the players who don't want to do anything about it, because you guys all want to continually be identified as a bunch of Greg Hardys. Y'all don't have a problem being identified with Greg Hardy, but God forbid you stand up for anything that matters.
Yep. Just like I ain't a T.O. fan, but T.O. got Michael Irvin the other day.
You did.
Yeah, because Michael Irvin chose to throw a shot at T.O. because of what T.O. say he ain't showing up to the when he gets put into the NFL Hall of Fame. He say he's not showing up to the ceremony, so him and Jason Whitlock decided to go at T.O. Flame, both of them factually. Michael Irvin should just not really say nothing about nobody. He's gotten away with stuff. That situation a few years ago, him and the chick, and he's had situations with women before. And we know he used to be, he loved the white candy, the cocaine. He had a cocaine problem. So, dude, when you're what's that word? He don't even have a skeletons. He got a whole damn cemetery.
It's they roll out Michael Irvin, they roll out Deion Sanders when they need somebody to shuck and jive for the NFL.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Now I get it, Michael Irvin. Without the NFL has kept you employed when they didn't have to. So you basically gonna sing any song they want you to sing. Stop trying to act like you give a damn about any other black man, because you don't.
Right.
You don't. Because the fact that people are coming, oh, you need to just let it go. First of all, who the fuck are you to tell somebody else how to feel about a situation?
Right.
You don't have the right to tell anybody how to feel about a situation that happened to them.
Yep.
Okay?
Wow.
T.O. should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes.
He wasn't.
I agree with you.
Because people don't like him.
Right.
Okay? Now, he got it on the second ballot, and he barely got in on the second ballot. And everybody has made a point to let him know, man, we sure did a lot to get you in. We was in there fighting for you. You better
No,
come
you
on in
weren't.
here and say thank you. You understand what I'm saying? The Shannon Sharps of the world, all these people, they all want to talk about how they fought to get T.O. in, how they banged on the table and all that other shit. First of all, if you did it, stop advertising it. Because basically what you're saying is, T.O., you better come kiss our ass, because one for us, son, you would be in the Hall of Fame, because, you know, we had to go up in there and regulate. I don't blame Terrell Owens for saying fuck that. I don't blame him. You know, I think, I personally, I wish he would go simply because I think that there's perception of him that might, no, it's not even about class. Honestly, you know, listen, if I don't like you, I'm not trying to pretend I like you. I'm not gonna come and grin and shake your hand. Stay the fuck away from me. That's how I'm a social class. I stand away from you.
Chandler,
but I think that there's
R has me and R used to work at the same place. So there's a gentleman there, and the dude was trying to screw me. So I said, oh, and people alerted me, yo, he doing this, he trying to do that. So I just stopped. You know, we weren't friends or anything, but I would be you know, good morning, whatever, how you doing? I stopped all types of communication. Don't say nothing to me, man.
Exactly.
Don't say nothing. I'll punch you
yeah,
in your face.
that's it. That's it. So, you know, but like I said, I think this perception of T.O. that maybe by him talking about his upbringing and things might change. But the fact of the matter is the media has an axe to grind against this man. They're going to continue to grind that axe. So why then, if you put yourself in his shoes, why would you subject yourself to go out there and have to smile in the faces of people that you really can't stand?
Who can't stand you.
Exactly.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
T.O. Listen, T.O. He had issues or whatever. T.O. was a superstar. There's a stat. All the quarterbacks he played with when he was like in his prime, they all had their best years when he was the wide receiver on their team. But you know, T.O. I want to like him, but then I'm like, I can't mess with you, T.O. But
I
Michael
look at it like
Irvin,
this.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Well, Donovan
No, go ahead.
McNabb had so much shit to say. I swear, Donovan McNabb is a sexual harasser of women because everybody went after T.O. because of Donovan McNabb. How do all you people feel now that you chose the wrong damn side?
Right.
Okay. Bottom line, every quarterback that went on the record said something negative about him turned out to wind up being an asshole. Jeff Garcia turned out to be an asshole. Donovan McNabb turned out to be an asshole. I'm just saying.
Right. Oh man, that's funny.
Yo, listen, it is reporters they don't like Albert Bell. Y'all don't like Marshawn Lynch. And Marshawn Lynch got a viable beef.
Yeah.
Because a reporter in Buffalo lied on him and disparaged that man's character. And he said, so you know what? I'm not talking to none of y'all ever. I'm gonna do the least bit I have to do.
Exactly.
They try to paint Marshawn Lynch as a you know, a thug. They tried to point to his scholastic record, but then the truth comes out. Marshawn Lynch was a damn good student in school. And I'm not mad at him for doing what he's done. Don't be a dick to these people and then you expect them to be agreeable when the camera's in your face and they have to talk to you. No, they don't have to talk to you because you're an asshole.
Yep. And and it's like I said, and too many of the sheep, the so-called fans, will buy any narrative given to them by the media instead of asking the question after this dude. What, you know what I'm saying? And then it'll turn out that, well, I tried to interview him one day and he blew past me. Okay. So he didn't want to talk to you. So now he's a terrible human being.
Exactly.
You know, and I always go back to the Steve Phillips thing. Steve Phillips went out of his way to disparage Alex Rodriguez. Turned out Steve Phillips got fired as a general manager for sexually harassing his employee, but he keeps getting jobs. Brian Cashman went out of his way to disparage Alex Rodriguez. Brian Cashman was blackmailed by his mistress, who he was cheating on with his wife. But nobody wants to talk about that, though. But Brian Cashman always want to talk about character.
Right.
You want to talk about character when you have none. You want to talk about character when you have none. Okay? Really?
That is funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just like this stupid idiot Rudy Giuliani, he wanted to talk about Stormy
Oh, Lord.
Daniels and her attorney. Listen,
Oh God. Come on, man.
listen, they do what they do, talking about porn stars and sex workers. But at the end of the day, they're human also, and they have lives outside of what they do to make money or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Rudy says what he says and use those, trademark words, character, and all of that. Rudy, you on like your third or fourth wife, cheating. You cheated on most of them. Here you go again. You got you a little side piece again. Let's talk about that. He,
Mm.
I read an article. He tried to front it off. This has barely been going on 3 weeks. It's after me and my wife were legally separate. Stop fronting, Rudy. You first of all, I don't know who want to go with your vampire looking ass, but
Mm-hmm.
it's because you got money. You
Mm-hmm.
have some political power, but Rudy look ah these people crack me up. Like you said, they want to talk about honor, but they don't have any.
Nah.
Have any at all. Your kids don't even speak to you, Rudy.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah, but hey, it's amazing how often somebody wants to cast stones when they're doing the exact same thing.
Right.
Right.
What I'm
I
gonna
find
do?
that
What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find some dirt on Phil Mushnick because I know he got some dirt.
please, of course he does, of course he does, but it doesn't matter because people again these fans they don't want to have to think. They don't want to
Right.
question. They don't want to have to be held accountable because the same people that were saying Tiger Woods is terrible because he cheated on his wife were screwing their wife's friend, sister, whatever. Okay?
Right.
The same people who were castigating him to, well, how dare he have an affair? Dude, aren't you on your third marriage? Didn't all your previous marriages end because you kept cheating? Yeah, but that's different. I'm not Tiger Woods. What's different? What's different?
It's funny. We got mad um archives of talking about Tiger Woods.
Right.
Tiger Woods failed to get in front of his story and stop it. David Letterman had something similar happen to him. They found out David Letterman was cheating with an intern or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he came on TV, said, "Yo, that's a situation between me and my wife and our family." And it went away. Tiger Woods let all them chicks he was messing with,
Right.
some of them he paid off. He didn't say nothing. Man, get in front of the story.
Oh.
And frankly, I don't care. Tiger,
Right,
that's between you and your wife.
Exactly.
right.
I expect
Yeah, I
you to
don't care who you're
cheat.
sleeping with. Yeah, I don't care who
You
you're
got
sleeping with.
money.
Right.
First of all, you shouldn't have married this Swedish broad anyway. You should have married a sister, but look, I'm not even getting into that conversation. All right. You married some broad named Elin, right? So you get what you got.
Right.
But come on, son. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he's cheating on his wife. Is he beating his wife? No. Is he
Right.
touching his children? No. Then I don't care
Right.
if he's
Yep.
cheating, because guess what? he's going to have to deal with that. He's going to have to answer his children, not to me. He's going to have to answer to his children. Why did you do this to our mother? Okay, everything else is bullshit. You know, and that's why, like, when it happens with guys, I don't care. I don't care who you sleep with. I didn't care that Michael Sam was gay. I cared that Michael Sam wasn't a good football player. I don't care who you sleep with. As long as it is legal and is consensual, go do you. Shut the fuck up.
See, Michael Sam, he played that whole.
Who is that? Michael Sam, who is that?
The football player from University of Missouri. He came out just before the draft, and then suddenly teams that did draft him, they were terrible for not drafting him. You had Tony Dungy with his holier than thou ass walking. Now Tony Dungy, I can't stand, because maybe Tony Dungy had spent more time with his family, his son wouldn't have had to commit suicide because he had no relationship with his father. All right, and I went there with that. Okay, don't keep telling me about God when you can't even. You're not even there for your son when your son is having mental health issues and extremely depressed, but you can't take the time to spend with him. All right, I don't want to hear from Tony Dungy.
I heard that.
Right, I don't want to hear from you. But it became this thing. Well, no one's drafting him because he's gay. No one drafted him because he wasn't good.
Yep.
Exactly. Yo, gentlemen, I gotta call it a night, man, because I gotta work.
Okay.
But it's all good. But thank you for calling in. Hopefully, you get the chance to do this again next week. You know what I'm saying? I hope I can. Yeah, I hope this. Listen, what I'm gonna do, I advise you guys, Mac. I know Chandler, you already know, not to call in too early. You understand to the broadcast. I think that's where the issue rose up.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Yeah, I did call in. I called in like at 9:28, 9:27.
Okay. Yeah. So I think
I got you.
I'm gonna call in about 9:28 and wait for you guys. You understand? So I think that's what the issue was. You know?
Right. But
all right,
I had
gentlemen.
fun. This is good.
Same here.
Chandler, I'll see you on Twitter.
For sure.
I'll holler at you,
No doubt.
and y'all stay good over the weekend.
No question, brother. Peace out, brothers.
Peace.
All right.
All right.